So I got this Strat tuned up, and it was pretty close. I tuned it by ear really quick. It was very close, a little flat. So if we're gonna outline, say like a G7 chord, this is pretty fun to do. G7 is made of G's, B's, D's, and F notes. So I'm gonna find some notes some of those notes in this territory here, and this is kind of my preference if I was going to play over a G7 chord or just kind of warming up, pondering the note choice. It might look something like this. Chunky. Sounds like it's already going out of tune, but these strings are just stretching in. So that was F, G, B, D, F, G, B, D, F, and G, B. So you can, you're going to sound different than me the way you play that. But I think it just sounds cool, Let's say you're going to do an A minor chord. A minor is A, C, E. You can play it down here, or here, or here, or here. Check this out. I like this sound. That's A, C, E. It sounds pretty majestic, I guess. A, C, E. More A's, C's, and E's. So I da 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 da, sort of a sequence. So I'm just expanding it a little bit down to the E and the C. Highest note was an E on the first string. Let's just see what it's like to play the highest and lowest notes of that pattern. I was going to say scale. Sounds kind of like, what's that, But it's a third and a fifth of an A minor chord with no root. You can try just separating them, put a string between them so it's not so string to string, which kind of has a predictable guitar practice quality. Totally cool. So yeah, any chord you want to break down, let's say, let's do E7, like this. I like that. E7 is E, G sharp, B, and D. Those notes sound pretty, it sounds like, it sounds pretty big to me, a big sound. E, G sharp, B, D. Then you got your, E, G sharp, B, D. Second string, G sharp. first string, B, D. And a real low E. Hey man, this thing kind of stayed in tune with the dive bomb. Pretty impressive. So it's a 64 Strat, you know. Don't really need to replace your bridge. If you've got an original bridge, just leave it on there. Don't really need to change the pegs. These ancient pegs hold the pitch just fine. So, and the main thing I think is having a good nut on your guitar. Let a tech set up your bridge that is really experienced. Get the best tech you can to set that bridge, and your tuning will be good, playability will be good, and you'll enjoy your guitar. Even though it costs a little bit to get them fixed these days, it's worth it if you got the money. Otherwise, do it yourself. That's I do that too. But every once in a while, I'll send them out to the best tech I can find and have them make it even better. All right. Well, work on those chord tones if you're looking for something to do. It's pretty fun.